Yet another week and yet another week of lovely earnings. That's what I'm talking about with the fresh dew. I feel like $1,000,000. It's like 900 degrees here. So, I needed this removal of all the hair on the top of my head. Um, so we're going to go ahead and talk about this the week of May 24th, most anticipated earnings. I have two stocks for the most part I'm focusing on. There's definitely others here that I'm really interested in. I'll be looking at the earnings for sure. But two that I'm very much focused on. Not for selfish reasons, okay? Not just because I own some of them. Don't mind me kicking the desk. Hope you enjoyed that little earthquake. It wasn't an earthquake, I promise. So, Monday before open, we're just going to get cracking. Target Hospitality and Biomex, these pharmaceutical companies, they elude me to an extent. Definitely ones, it's not an industry I'm necessarily in all that much. Very risky industry for a lot of people, but some people can make a lot of money there, but most of it, that's kind of gambling. Hate to tell you that. After close, we have Lordston, America's Car Mart. Yeah, Car Mart, baby. Nordson, Agora, Allied Esports. Didn't know this was actually a company, but it is. So, interesting stuff there. Arco, don't know that one, and Zymergen. Not too familiar on Monday with some of these companies reporting. Tuesday, we get some better stuff out here, okay? It makes me more excited, at least. Starting before open with AutoZone, and I mentioned it before, not necessarily a business that's been impacted too heavily by everything going on. People just, vehicles need parts or serviced. That doesn't change necessarily depending on the environment. City trends. Cracker Barrel. I still haven't, I've never been to Cracker Barrel once in my life. I have, though, on the other hand, seen their products in stores. You've seen the mac and cheese, the white cheddar mac and cheese, and you've tried it. I know I have. It's darn good, and it's in a box, so you can only imagine what it tastes like when you're in the actual restaurant. Who knows? But maybe one day. Maybe one day. Viasat. Ooh, what's that? Huazhu. Don't know Huazhu. Don't know him. Elbit Systems. Iteran. Make My Trip. Really don't know that company either, but it sounds like another TripAdvisor, Trip.com type of company. Dicom, and then finished up with one I don't know necessarily. After close, though, baby. We start off with the clothing retailer here with Urban Outfitters. So there's a couple different interest points you can look at from last week. One being Kohl's, which actually had a really good earnings report, that they showed significant growth in terms of sales. Now they are a little bit more diverse and they do have a better online presence than most traditional retailers because you saw other companies report and show some very down numbers. These traditional only clothing retailers that don't have a big online presence, they struggled. They didn't quite show the recovery that was expected of them, and even from an earnings per share perspective, didn't hit the marks there. Just crazy to see. So Urban Outfitters, I believe, will be in the latter category. I really don't think that they necessarily have the dominance nor the presence that a Kohl's does to show that significant recovery of 60+%. I really don't. Yeah. Zcalar. We have Intuit, obviously most known for their TurboTax software. As the tax deadline, my apologies, was May 16th here. Yeah, I definitely see that more people are probably going to be using the software later. They always do. People procrastinate their taxes until the last moment every freaking time. Instead of just getting it done. It doesn't matter when you do it. I don't get what people don't understand about that. It's not like you're going to have to pay less or you're going to get less back the longer you wait. I don't know. Don't know what's going on there. But obviously with the tax deadline extended this year again to an extent, we'll see this quarter be a little bit better for them because last year they had extended it even further, so people probably procrastinated it even further. So we'll see what that looks like. Toll Brothers, they make premier houses. I mean, premier, we're talking $1 million plus on these houses. They're high quality. They're very nice houses. Housing market's still been incredibly insane right now. House prices continue to climb. As interest rates still are low, people are trying to, I think, move out and buy while they have the opportunity. As someone who's trying to buy himself, it's rough out there, boys. There's a lot of garbage on the market. Better than there being zero houses on the market. We did reach an all-time low in inventory a couple months back, but now it's popping up like crazy. So Toll Brothers, though, they're not necessarily relevant on that. Typically, they'll build for someone, and they have the money regardless of the situation to pay for the house. So Toll Brothers, consistent company. They built some nice houses. Nordstrom, I put them in the Urban Outfitter category, unfortunately. Very strong brand name, but I just don't think necessarily they've got the recovery quite yet. And I don't know if this is necessarily common for everyone else, but I've definitely seen a bigger push overall in men's clothing recovery than in ladies. I think ladies was relatively, it was down last year, but men's is what saw the biggest dip. So those companies that have a lot more in terms of men's apparel probably see a better comp increase. Just saying. Rena Solar, sorry, very hiccupy. Agilent Technologies, tried to hold that one in, by the way. Skyline, Red Robin. I haven't been to a Red Robin but once in my life, and you're going to see that about every single restaurant that's ever existed. But yeah, overall, I mean, it was a good time. I had a pleasant time with them. Restaurants, obviously, as we open up with less restrictions, people are going to be going out and eating more often, I think, because we're going to return to being too lazy to cook, because if you can just get your food out, why wouldn't you? You know? Live Ramp, Wednesday before open, we have Lee Auto. Definitely one of the popular stocks out there right now in terms of performance. As you've seen, not quite, as good as other companies like Neo, but you know what I'm saying. Dick's Sporting Goods. Yeah, I mean, again, I think it's consistent. Sporting Goods, they do plenty fine, no matter what the environment. I think probably more now than ever. Now that everyone's opening up to, having kids play rec soccer, stuff like that again. Now that more people are playing sports, Dick's probably could see a benefit there. Abercrombie and Fitch, again, not too excited about these earnings. I just don't think the recovery is going to be quite where they thought it would be. Capri Holdings Limited. What's that P right there? Anyone see that? Photronics, baby. I don't know. I wasn't aware of the logo. BMO Capital. We know BMO. Obviously, we want to see companies release some of their info on who they're holding and who they're not. Build-A-Bear Workshop, I swear to you, reports earnings about 15 times a quarter. I swear they do. But overall, I don't really like the company. Can't lie to you. Lazydays Rv. I do think people have been buying RVs more than usual. This company I'm not too familiar with, but I do think RVs are, last year and this year, they've become a lot more popular because a lot of people are taking their own personal vacations. Bioline Pharmaceuticals, baby. Again, not an industry I'm too into. Nvidia, one of my focus stocks here. For many reasons, we love Nvidia. Okay, overall expected $3.27 in EPS compared to $1.80 of last year, which is like significant growth. We'll see if they're able to pull that out. I really do think they are, given the strength of the industry right now. And speaking of, revenue line expected to grow 79.7% to $5.39 billion. I think they're going to hit on that. I think gaming segment's going to be a massive part of it. And I do believe the autonomous driving segment will take over a little bit more in this quarter than what you have seen. I do think there's going to be a little bit of a boost there. But overall, I think the gaming segment's going to be your major winner here with NVIDIA as the industry continues to show massive strength. We have Digital Turbine. Snowflake is a really, really good company as well. Attracted a lot of attention from even Warren Buffett's investors onward. Okta, American Eagle Outfitters. Again, we get these clothing companies. I'm just not too excited about them right now. should be showing fantastic comps, but I saw some doo-doo last week, and it kind of scared me a little bit. Williams Sonoma, Workday, Pure Storage, Nutanix, and DXC Technology. Thursday before open, we have Best Buy. Still a company going strong right now, even though the logo changed. The Best Buy should still be inside of that little price tag symbol there, in my opinion. Also, who uses those little price tag things anymore? It's all digital signage. Anyways, but still, company's been doing well. Dollar General, Dollar Store's still been doing positive. You see that with Dollar Tree as well. Medtronic, Burlington, these clothings. I mean, there's so many of them. It's the clothing retail week, baby. We thought last week was, but this is. Sanderson Farms, I wonder what they grow. Anaplan, TD Bank. We've seen good stuff out of banks, but here comes the Canadian banks with the Royal Bank of Canada as well. So we'll see what they're able to do. Obviously, U.S. banks posted really good recovery numbers. And we'll see what these are able to do. I'd expect similar numbers for sure. Thursday, after close, we have Salesforce. Always one I look at for sure. Not a focus stock this quarter, but it's a really, really good company. They're going to be posting some fantastic results as e-commerce is just going to continue to be the steady platform for people to buy into the future. Salesforce is the primary beneficiary of that as people are using their services. Costco is my other focus stock, okay? There's a good reason why here. Expected EPS line of $2.32 against a $1.89 of a year ago. I think that I can't guarantee this is going to be a beat, and there's a few reasons for that. Obviously, when you think about a wholesale company like this that's membership based, one thing you need to point out is there's a reason why all their products are super cheap for you. Obviously, you buy in bulk, so it's cheaper for them to buy, but the margins on these companies are extremely low. You talk about a Costco, Sam's Club, BJ's. They're really, really cheap margins. We're talking about less than 10%, where traditionally a similar product might be 30 to 40% margin in another retailer because they're charging up. The upcharge is there. But with a Costco, it's not necessarily there. So their profit line is pretty well dictated to operating expenses, huge part of it, as well as membership. The membership is their only profit. So they have to increase the membership base, which I think they've been doing a good number on, because I think wholesalers have been doing a really good job. They've been outperforming retailers over the last year. So you got to consider that, though. Their entire profit is based off of their subscription-based membership, okay? So consider that. They need to get upgrades onto the Black Card, or is it Executive Card? What is it? I don't remember. I can't remember if it's Black Card or I think it's Executive. I think so. Something like that. The Premier membership. I don't know why I can't think of it right now. But revenue expected to increase 17.5%. This is one I do think they'll beat on, actually. I'm expecting more like $45 billion. I think overall, just in general, they've been seeing some freaking massive demand. Average ticket likely is going to be up, and as well as average number of transactions. I do think tickets and transactions will both be up, and that'll lead to a pretty dang good quarter. So that's what you get from them. We have Gap clothing, baby. HP. I did want to just mention this. Obviously, we've seen incredible demand for PCs over the last year. And we've seen even in Q1, this is the strongest market that we've ever had. PC shipments grew 32% in the first quarter. Since highest rate of growth since it started tracking in 2000. And again, this is off a really good quarter last year too. So PC sales doing really good. HP, see some good numbers out of them most likely. Ulta Beauty, this is a retailer that I actually do think sees significant growth actually. This is going to be a recovery play. Because Ulta Beauty in the beauty segment, it's doing better than the others. They're not strictly the clothing companies. These are These are focused on beauty products, which are consistent no matter what. Viva, Las Vegas, Dell, similar with the HP story. We're going to be focused on just massive growth in the PC industry. Box, that's right. Autodesk, before Open Friday. Big Lots, which I'm surprised is still around. I really am. Wouldn't think that's a retailer that was going to hang around with the big boys, but it is Big Lots after all. Hibbett Sports, expect similar numbers to Dick's, obviously. Caleres, Frontline, and Medicina. That's all I got for you today. Hope you really enjoyed this and you have a great day.